Guys, I'm back. Thank you for all the support, all the views, likes, all that sort of stuff, all the new subs. Really appreciate it. This will probably be the final big board video because draft season's basically over for everyone. Most people have drafted, so this is just a final update for everyone who is still yet to draft. Like, I'm not drafting till Saturday. You're going to say, why is this man in a polo? It's because I try and record these when I finish work and get just before I get to the gym. So that is why this man is in a polo. Let's jump over to the big board. A lot of changes. It's all over the shop, and I've broken the tiers out a bit more to help you evaluate the gaps in talent a bit better as you're drafting. I use this board for my community draft, which will either be up on YouTube already or soon to come. If you look at this big board and then you look at my team and go, damn, that's a pretty good team, it's because I use this board. This board helped me identify where to go next. So even though my heart was pulling me one way, this board was saying, mate, there's someone that you value pretty highly available. Which just helped me, I think, draft a nice balanced team that has enough upside to potentially win the thing. So view this board and then jump into that community league. Awesome thing about that community league is it also helped me refine this board by helping me understand who I actually really liked and who I had just evaluated highly before the draft. And then in the draft when I saw them go, I thought, no, actually I would want that guy over this guy, and it helped me tweak it. The big changes in sort of like the hooker, like just taking on board what I was seeing. I was too high on Sandon Smith, a bit too high on Appy. He might not play all the minutes, and if he doesn't goal kick, so I'm just not sure. Helped me realize Terrell May's my FRF 1 flat out. That risk is priced into him being an FRF. I get that, but we've seen in the trials, and it's just what it's just what I'm about. And this gap's really important. I think I had this gap not so big, which was probably going to throw people off. I really didn't want anyone thinking to take Steph at this level of these guys. Just don't do that. Same as King and Curran, yada yada. Brought Corey up. Forgot he was dual. Brought Emre Gula in. He has a pathway to minutes to monitor. We also updated our 2RF, just figured out this grouping a bit more cleanly. Brought Isaiah Papali'i up, given the sort of pseudo confirmation that he is playing on an edge and not in the middle. Actually, there's a world where it's a bit more like this, honestly. It's probably a better way to do it, quite frankly. Preston Nanai there's a gap. There's another gap. There's this big grouping of guys that have upside and risks. You could argue that it's sort of, maybe it's split like this is a bit fair. I love Blore. His ball playing a little bit more. He's another year in the Storm system, another preseason. I love Blore as not even a dart throw, but just that second 2RF, that third 2RF. You'd be stoked if you've got Blore there, I reckon. He'll have quiet games, don't get me wrong, but he'll do enough, I reckon. We've tidied up the bottom half of this, guys. These are just pure dart throws. I don't really want you starting with any of these 2RFs if you can avoid it. Obviously, some of them will do a job, but there's risk baked in. Kelmer's probably too low. Just don't like him. Don't want you guys to overinvest in Kelmer Tulangi, but if he's going to play, then he has to be where he is. Halfbacks is interesting. Fact of the matter is, I don't want you taking really DCE over Hudson Young necessarily. I mean, Hudson has that bye, but I just want people to understand the value proposition here. Dill Brown, maybe he's a bit low, but I've got to stay true to what I think about him with his injuries. The chance he does his ACL, but if we use the sort of ADP style and just what we're hearing, we have to bump him up. Happy with that. I had him up as an FE over here, so I obviously forgot to do that, so I'm okay with that. Galvin, I took him really early in the community league, but the fact of the matter is this is probably his value. I do think he's better than Dearden though. Maybe it's not that big of a break though, but I don't want you taking Dearden over IPAP sort of shit. Luai I was too high on, that's fine. I've really tidied this up, guys, from the last board, so just spend some time understanding that. That I was a bit high, a bit low on people. I've cleaned it up. There's more tier breaks. It was a bigger pack. I've now tidied it up, in my opinion. Talangi didn't get named. I don't really care because I'd rather throw a dart at Talangi than draft Luke Brooks or Braden Trindle. That's just me. Maybe Tricky's a bit low on that scale there. Maybe I'm being a bit unfair. Maybe it's like a point of preference to do it like this. Jai Gray, a bit high. You'd probably take Brooksy over Gray. Because Gray will do a job and Latrell's injury prone, but he's not 5'8" eligible, is he, anymore? See? This is it. So hard to manage all this. It's all good. CT Dubs. I've tidied this up. The fact of the matter is I'm happy with all these guys at a certain point. Val had so much ball in the trials. He deserves to be in this group, even if I don't froth him. Lomax is just a talented guy kicking goals. To'o's To'o. So... Karaz, I've faded just a little bit without being too crazy. Maybe I'd take a Sarko over Karaz this year. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's something like that. These guys are awesome. I don't love the buy personally. I don't want my CT Dub 1, which is most likely going to be a CT Dub 1 or a CT Dub 2 if you just where you are in your draft, to miss my semi-final or maybe my grand final. You can manage a lot in a season. I don't want to really manage that. And it's not to say they're significantly worse, but they're not Jacob Karaz when healthy. They're not a Sarko kicking goals. They're not Dane Gagai from a game-breaking... Well, kind of, but... Yeah, they just don't have the Dane Gagai work rate or whatever it is that he does to score that many fantasy points. He's the ageless wonder. That's just that. But you can do it. You can take him earlier. I'm not going to, yell at you. This is my board. Selwyn is probably too high. I do love his upside, but let's be a bit more realistic. Bring him into this pack where I think he belongs. And these guys, it's fluid. If someone told me they took Paul Alamotti over Beau Fermor, I'm not probably gonna yell at you. Although I'd take Beau before him because I think flexibility is really cool. This group, I'm probably still a bit high on Tracy. Don't care. The duel's awesome. Kelly does a job. Two of us are Sheck. I'm pricing in the upside of him doing something significant on the wing and at fullback potentially. Marju's awesome. Don't want to go too high on Marju because there is a world where the tries don't come often enough for him to be that top guy. But he still deserves to be in this grouping for sure. But see, I'd take Marzu over Brian Kelly 100%. So what am I doing? Do you know what I mean? I've got to be realistic with myself. And if Lehigh Hopewadi starts, this is why doing these boards is so hard, guys, because I don't know if Lehigh's going to start, in round one on the wing. If I did know that, he would be up here. You know what I mean? I just don't know. So I have to just price that unknown into this board. Tupou's faded, but he is still a fine option. If Tupou's staring you in the base in the draft and he's your second, third CT dub, you pull the trigger. He'll score enough tries, return enough kicks to be relevant, I think. This is a riskier area. They all have different benefits. I took McLean way earlier than this in the draft, so maybe, and he's on the wing, so I need to be a bit more. I thought he was playing centre. I need to be a bit more honest with my Casey McLean evaluation on this board. See, I'm managing two boards, so you get a bit caught up, right? You can see where I've got McLean in this one. I just hadn't reflected in this one, but it's absolutely fine. This is what I draft off PS, this one here, because it has other prompts, but this is what I build out, and I would snake draft off this. It's a bit easier for snake. Too high on Blaze not making the first team cut. Quite frankly, Fletcher playing 5/8. But I like him over all those guys. The upside's so real. That's the thing. This is just, I'm happy to fucking get it wrong here. I can make back the mistake I make in here. I can make back during the season out of these guys off waivers or whatever. Even these guys. I'm too low on Mark, I think. Something like that makes sense. But yeah. Fullbacks has been somewhere I haven't had to change too much, so I'll probably just leave it. Except Lehigh. Probably higher on him than... I don't even know if Nick Meaney is fullback eligible this season, so apologies. See, I'd probably take Lehigh over Jareem. I don't even know if Meaney belongs in here, guys. Well, ignore that if it's wrong. I'm just going to fix this up. Sweet. Iongi, he's fine. Honestly, he showed a bit more. I'm going to put him in that group. Weeks is whatever. Cool. So I hope you appreciated this update. Jumping into this board, this is just my board. It's the same sort of thing. There's just a few different nuances to help me on draft day. But yeah, I hope this helps you guys. Remember, if you're chasing this in Excel format, you're going to need to find me on Twitter, DM me, get an invite to the Discord, follow me, get an invite, and then hit me up on Discord. Twitter doesn't let me send the file, but this will continue to be updated. So whenever you need it, you need to message me and hope I can get it to you. If you're drafting on Saturday, it will be updated up until Saturday, FYI, or Friday night, for example. Hope you enjoyed the draft preseason content. The community league analysis is a fun one. It's a bit of a longer video, but you might enjoy it. I've got some classic stuff to come before kickoff. And then during the season, obviously, I have some content. Not sure exactly what format that's going to take due to time constraints. I don't know if I'll be doing as much modeling. I don't mean photo modeling. I mean data and statistical modeling. Did that last year. That was awesome, but it just was very time consuming. I'll have a think. I might. It's the timing of the video is better for me and I might not do waiver stuff. I might put waiver stuff elsewhere. I might do an article or something, do articles for waivers, so I can release it timely without having to do the whole video thing, all the production around the waiver stuff. So it might be something like that, like matchup videos, waiver articles, or it could be just weekend analysis and then planning ahead the waiver pickups if they're available and talking about who looked good, who performed well, what the implications are of different injuries or whatnot. Like just a one video a week kind of thing. I'm not sure, but stick around, hit subscribe for that, hit the bell icon so you get your stuff in a timely manner so you don't miss the drop. You know what I mean? So you can get the drop on your opponents and you don't miss when videos and stuff drop. So you can get that competitive advantage. So hit the bell for that, I think, for this sort of content is probably pretty important. Yep, hit the bell, hit sub, hit like, comment if you've got the time. Just chuck a thumbs up, whatever, in down below. It all helps. And yep, pursue me on X, follow me on X so you can join the Discord. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being along this preseason journey. Really appreciate all the new faces in the Discord and on Twitter and stuff. Yeah, the content will keep rolling. Cheers, guys.